Well, hello, and welcome to Friday, December 23rd. All right. So, um, totally lost my train of thought. Awesome. No, we just got back from the store. We were supposed to have gone to get the car inspected and plates and tags on it. Yeah, that's going to be a fun topic when I do my December mental health video. We'll put it that way. No, I was going to take you guys in there and clean out my freezer sort of because I'm running out of breast milk space in my freezer, and I did just pump. These bottles here are, set you guys down. These are 5-ounce bottles. So usually I fill up. Depends on which boob. One boob sometimes fills all of this up, and then the other boob sometimes does half of it. And then I write it. I go ahead after I pump, and I write it down on my little boob chart here. So I pumped from 1 p.m. for 30 minutes, and I've got 5 plus 3 ounces, so that's about 8 ounces right there. And then I have my little labels that I'm sticking onto my breast milk bags, which I actually just bought some. Hold on. So I have my little breast milk bags because I forgot to pick up my hospital bottle, plastic bottles to put the breast milk in so I could transfer them back to the hospital. But they said I could use the bags. That's fine. I try my water. I did, however, wash. I have an old manual pump here that has a, like, what's it called? I can't think of what this is called. Like a stickier plastic part. It's like a really flimsy, kind of like a boob shield. And that sticks in here, and then it actually suctions to your boob better as opposed to just a hard plastic, which tends to slip and slide off. This, if it gets breast milk on it, it won't slip and slide off. But I forgot I had this, so I did go ahead and detach it. I detached it. I cleaned it out really, really well. I sterilized it. That's what I was trying to say. But all I do is I put the breast milk bag in this cup, and I mean, if you guys are moms, you probably know. But I put it in here so it can hold open, and then I just pour the breast milk that I have over the old one until I fill the bag. And these bags, I think, hold. The line is way up here that you're not supposed to fill over. Technically, you're only supposed to fill up to here. It says do not fill past the 6-ounce line. Well, to be honest, yes, the 6-ounce line is right here, right here, right? And this is the line up here. So technically, I try to fill up to this line, even though it says don't. I think they say don't because to defrost it, you want a little room in your bag to defrost it. But honestly, my triplets are going to be using, and see, it's pretty much all the way up to the line. So all I do is I just go ahead and make sure all the air is out. And then I snap it shut as best as I can. And I take this and we put it in the fridge. I do have a bucket in my fridge. Right here. Like, but I have all my breast milk in there. That is all going to the hospital tomorrow. But I will show you guys the freezer. So I have all of this in here. Yes. That's going to be a good thumbnail right there. Anyways. And then I have this here. And then all of that in that bucket right there. I started from up here. I'm trying to figure out how to get all of this out of here. So I can put another bucket like this in here. Because right now, my bucket has all my extra parts in it. I did go to the store and pick up one of these today, which I have never had one of these. I don't think I've had one of these. This was $24.95. And I've always wanted one. I might get another one. I'm not sure yet. And then I just picked up some 50 storage pounds, or storage pounds, storage bags. Any storage bag for breast milk will fit on any type of pump or anything. But what I do is I just take one of my bags. I take one of my bags and I write down on the label, on my label, I have to figure out which label I need to use here. I have to use Baby B's label, and I write down today's date, which is 12/23, and I write down the time, which is 1 p.m. is when I pumped. And I know that this bag is not only the 1 p.m., but if I put 1 p.m. on there and it's filled, then they should know that it's 1 p.m. in the next pumping session, which will be at 5 p.m. Unless my boobs get to the point where they need to be pumped beforehand. Because sometimes it depends on if I'm drinking coffee or not. Like yesterday was a weird day. Somehow, I don't know how, I got, and that was just the leftover from, that was like about 4 ounces in here, which I could read. It says 5 ounces in here, but this is 5 ounces, and I used some of this for the other bag. But all I do is I just put it, and then I put this whole thing in the fridge to get cool, because you don't want to leave breast milk out. But, totally lost my train of thought. I'll show you guys. So all I do is to wash these off. I do have a sterilizing bag, and I know this is like, but all I do is I take the really hot water, and I just rinse them out really well. You guys probably can't see me. But, I totally lost my train of thought. Labels, the bags, no idea what I was going to say. I do have to ask tomorrow. I do have to get, they're giving me more bigger plastic bottles for the pumpkin, because the ones that they had given me were 2.5 ounces, and I was pulling the most to pass. And then if I get the bigger ones, which I think are 5 or 8 ounces, I can't remember, but those they're giving me because I won't use as many of the little ones, and they can save the little ones for other people who need to pump and bring them in. And sorry, my cats just ran back inside. Yes, because I have my door open. It's cold out, but it's nice enough out. It's really, really windy today. And on the positive note, the cats aren't really messing with our Christmas tree. We finally put up our Christmas tree. I'm sure you guys saw the short. If you guys follow me on TikTok, then you probably saw the short mini TikTok video that I put up of the Christmas tree. Yes, we finally put up our Christmas tree on December 19th. I did film it. I just have to edit that video. Let's clean out my freezer. I'll put you guys down here somewhere. And we'll clean out my freezer. Storage bags. That's what I say. Storage bags will fit on any type of bottle or anything else. So it's not like you need these specific bags for that specific pump. I know that you're supposed to use them, because I do have like some like really cheap Medela ones, which don't reseal up, I don't think. Because they open, which is really weird, because I had to get them open. I don't remember how to open them. I mean, it has the symbols like here and like here to open. But oh, okay, yeah. So you open it here, I think. And then I don't know how you're supposed to reseal it. But either way, I have these for backup. But I'm going to go ahead and clean out my freezer, sort of. Alright, so let's see. That's true. That's all. That's true. Oh, no, that's true. Ours. Alright, well, scratch that because I guess I don't need to take out. I am going to eat some toaster turtles. I have no idea where I put the frosting for them. But I have cookie frosting, which we're going to have cookies for days because I'll show you guys. We still have, which I also recorded that video. We still have all of these cookies to eat. I might have to end up putting some of them in a fridge. But, yeah. That's probably, because I thought my freezer was going to take a lot longer to clean out. But I basically just needed to move like 2 things. And since I'm putting most of my breast milk from yesterday and today in the fridge, because I don't need, I did just put it in the fridge. Yes. I was just thinking, did I put it in the fridge? If you can hear the wind in the background at all, you probably can't. But if you can hear little bangs on my roof, that is the tree seedlings falling on my roof. Tree seedlings? I don't know what to call them. Anyways, yeah, so tomorrow we're going to go see the babies. Yay. I will be there all day long. I don't know what time Jim works, but hopefully we can get to the hospital early enough and Jim can see the babies, or I don't know if he'll have time to hold. I don't know what Jim's plans are before he goes to work, but my plan is that I'm going to stay there all day. I already have my Christmas Eve outfit picked out, which is pajamas, and I have my Christmas Day outfit picked out. I don't know if we're going to get a room tomorrow night. And what I say by a room is like the family rooms. I talked about it in one of my, I don't know if it was a postpartum vlog or my triplet vlog. But it's like a little closet that you go into. I know I talked about this somewhere, but it's a little closet you go into. It's a room, but it looks like a closet, like an old utility closet type of thing, you know, or like, it has a twin size bed and a mirror. I don't think it has a mirror. It has a mirror, has a nightstand. It has like an armoire. That's the word I was looking for in that video, an armoire, but holds like a couple things that you can hang up. And it also has a pull down changing table and then a chair in there. So you can like hold the baby and breastfeed, I guess, or you could sit down and change the baby. I'm not really sure what the chair is for. Comfort, I don't know. I guess you can use the changing table for a desk as well, because like me, who's probably going to bring my laptop most likely tomorrow. But I will be vlogging that. And so that will be in the triplets thing. I will probably be filming postpartum stuff. Oh, that's what I was talking about. My breast milk. Yesterday was a weird day. I was pumping. My body wanted to pump every 2 hours for some reason again, which is fine. But when I was pumping, I wasn't getting as much, if that makes sense. And it kept feeling like one boob over the other was getting engorged, not to the point where it hurt, but it was like as if I would pump for 30 minutes and it wasn't draining my boob, if that makes any sense, which it should have. And I would massage my boobs a couple times to make them flow a little bit better. And it just, I don't know. Today I have no problems. I don't know what I ate or drank yesterday, or maybe I wasn't as hydrated yesterday. That could have been it. I did have 2 cups of coffee though, because coffee is a stimulant. It should have helped my boobs, but who knows? But like I said, I'm not going to make this video any longer, or today's vlog any longer, because I am going to start, like I keep saying, I'm going to probably keep saying this and repeating myself, my postpartum vlogs. Yes, and I will hopefully try and film what baby items I get as they come in and everything else. I know eventually I'm going to be doing a big baby haul of like the clothing and everything else that we get, but right now we don't have much. We have clothing, but we don't have much. But on that note, until tomorrow or Sunday or whenever. Hello, and welcome to Wednesday, December 21st. All right, so I know I am trying to record my weekly postpartum vlogs. So the past 2 days, not much has happened. And so, I mean, not like postpartum wise, not like mental health wise. So I didn't really record anything the past 2 days. Well, I should say yesterday, we went to see the babies, of course, and successfully all 3 babies got to breastfeed. So yay, yay! I'm so excited. Okay, Amelia, no, Trent, Isabel. Clearly, I have no idea what my triplets' names are, and they are officially 3 weeks old. They are 34 weeks, so yay to them. They're completed their milestones, and that's exciting. The next milestone, I know I probably said I wouldn't be talking about the babies too much in my postpartum vlogs, but let's be honest, they kind of are part of postpartum, so I kind of have to talk about them. I was going to have my baby vlogs separate from my postpartum, but I'll do the pictures and everything else separate from my actual mental health postpartum vlogs, if that makes sense. No, yesterday, got there, dropped off a bunch of breast milk, back up on the breast milk. So I have the little plastic 2.5-ounce bottles with lids on them that I was putting labels on to take to the hospital, and whatever day it was, I think it was Saturday maybe. It was either Friday or Saturday. When I went to the hospital, one, forgot to ask for more. 2, when we came home that night, Blaze apparently had got at the rest of the ones I had, which was about, 8 of them left, so that was very bad. He's never done that before, but when you live with a puppy and he has attachment issues, whatever. So I've been using my lactation milk bags and putting the labels on those and then taking those to the hospital, which is fine. I don't like to do that because I'm going to run out of bags, which I have to pick up hopefully this weekend. But it's fine. And then yesterday when we went, I forgot to ask for bigger bottles that are bigger than the 2.5 ounces. So that's okay though, because we are going back on Christmas Eve, which is Saturday. I'll be there all day. Jim actually has to work on Christmas Eve, but then he'll be joining us for Christmas Eve night, and we'll be staying there for Christmas Day for as long as we feel like it. But no, you got there, dropped off the breast milk, and Isabel was the first one to go to my breast. Boobs, whatever. I could say breast because that's like an actual medical term. I don't know YouTube's stipulation on saying certain words, but it's an actual legit body part, so I'm sure I can say that. But anyways, Isabel latched right away. I don't know if she latched fully, but she got a little milk, so that was good. And then I put her back in her little box thingy and went to go see Trenton, and the lactation lady was going to come. Well, she did come, but we had to wait for the lactation lady to come so she can help me with Trenton. Since they are all really small, they're only 34 weeks, and they're only like just barely 4 pounds, if not just barely under. So obviously they're going to have a little trouble latching. They're preemies. That's typical. They do latch. It's just the fact that they have to use the nipple shields. And it's just like this little flimsy piece of plastic that's supposed to mimic a bottle. If I remember to record it on Christmas Eve, I can show you guys, or you guys can Google one. The one that I had to use with the triplets was a little bit different because I know I had to use one with my son, Ben, when he was a baby for about a week because he had a little problem latching. The great thing about the babies is that they're doing great on the bottles. They don't have any tongue ties or thrush or cleft lip. My nipples are not inverted. They're not like a weird size or anything, which can happen. I'm talking about actual things that can happen if you try to breastfeed, if you want to breastfeed. But once we got him going, he went and he was great. The things that they look for is their breathing while they're eating, because sometimes they'll stop breathing. My daughter Cora had this problem. She would stop breathing and then she would eat and then she would stop breathing. It's common in preemies. It's nothing to worry about. It's just the fact that you have to kind of watch it. And since I've had kids and I've breastfed all my kids, it was kind of easy to know the cues, but it was really helpful to have the lactation lady there again. I've never really fully liked the lactation people to help me because, I mean, I liked them, but at first I was like, okay, just go away. Like, just let me try to do this on my own and just observe me. But I liked it this time because it was a lot easier to kind of figure out better. I think I have more patience this time. I don't know. But Trenton did really, really well. He got full fast. And then after he ate, he did have to have a little extra food, but not much. And then Amelia was next, and she latched, and she did really, really well. Her and Trenton are definitely going to be boob eaters, so that's great. Isabel had a little trouble. When the lactation lady was there, Isabel had a little bit of trouble. She did not want to eat at all. She didn't want to eat at all. And then she would latch, but then she didn't want to like actually do anything to actually swallow. So she was a difficult one. But once she actually started eating, then she was fine. But she got full really fast. And then she just was like, whatever. She just passed out and she just didn't care. So Isabel might be a little bit a little bit of the troublemaker. Not troublemaker. Troublesome one with the breasts. But that's okay. But they all did it, and they all did great. They didn't have any problems. And for 34 weeks, the lactation lady was very surprised that they all latched on, figured it out really fast, figured it out themselves really fast, worked it. If they stopped breathing, they worked it out. If they got too much milk, they worked it out. I know that she was impressed with me, but since I've had kids, and she said that too. She's like, well, you know what you're doing, so you are fine. It's just them. So that's a success. We stayed there till like a little after 6, because I fed them at like 5. They have a 5 o'clock feeding, which helped with pumping, because I didn't have to pump as much at the hospital, which is awesome. Then we came home and we pretty much just relaxed the rest of the night, watched some Christmas movies, and then pretty much fell asleep. And that's why I'm making this video today. I will say a Christmas movie that we did watch that's really good. It's called A Boy Named Christmas. It's on Netflix, and I don't believe by the time this video goes up, it will be on Netflix anymore. But if you Google A Boy Named Christmas, really good movie. It has a lot of like fairy tale references, and I noticed them last night, and Jim didn't notice them as much. But like Mother Goose, Father Time, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel. I think Robin Hood was on there. I mean, like, it references things, but you have to, like, actually pay attention and know the fairy tales to understand, because they don't have the same names. Like, Father Time is Father Token. It's not Father Time. So you kind of have to actually know what they're doing and know the fairy tales, if that makes sense. It was a really good movie, though. But I just took a shower earlier today. It took me forever to take a shower because I really didn't want to. And since our heat's broke in our house, I mean, it works, but it doesn't work. It's like chilly when you come out of the shower. Change the sheets, and our washing machine, hopefully we'll get one sent to us, or at least purchased on Friday, so we can get it by Monday or Tuesday. That would be ideal. The car, we have to get legal on Friday. We have to do a lot of things. So that's where my postpartum mental health is right now. It's really, really stressful because I've had to get my mom the laundry to do at her house and then bring it back, which I hate to do. I hate to do that. 1, because I don't want her to do my laundry, and 2, because her washing machine is old and it's stupid, and then her dryer is like takes freaking 12 years just to dry anything. So our idea is to get a brand new washer and dryer set and then give my mom our old dryer, because our dryer works phenomenally. Other than that, appetite. Still haven't had the greatest appetite, and Jim keeps worrying about me because I don't really eat as much. But before I was eating for 4. I'm still eating for 4, technically, but I'm not, like, hungry, if that makes sense. Or my ADHD, I forget to eat. I will literally put food in the microwave and get distracted, like, oh, well, the litter box needs to be cleaned, or the dogs went outside, or the cats went back inside because they escaped and got outside, or, hey, while my food's heating up, let's go put the laundry away. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. My stove just went off as I'm making this vlog because I have chicken cooking in the, and now people are calling me. That's another reason why I get distracted. But on the note, I'm not going to make today's vlog very, very long. I am staying hydrated. I'm going to keep saying that I'm staying hydrated because that is a key for, if you're going to breastfeed, that is key. I know eating is a huge thing too, but hydration is probably the number one thing. I still think it's really odd how coffee makes my breast milk more productive, which is great. I don't know if that's for all people, and I want to say with coffee, if you do breastfeed and drink coffee, there is a what is it called? There is a statistic, that's what I was trying to say, that some of the caffeine can make your baby either gassy or more, what's it called, go to the bathroom a lot more. They could also make them not sleep as much because of the caffeine. So try to limit your caffeine intake. I drink coffee personally because I like the taste of it. If you don't feel comfortable drinking coffee, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, then, listen to you. You do you. And I'm just giving you the warning that sometimes caffeine can give your babies side effects of like not sleeping or gas or etc. etc. As well as the milk, because I put milk in my coffee. There's creamer that people put. So just be aware of that. If your baby ends up not sleeping or whatever, that could be the reason why. On that note, until later on, because tomorrow's Thursday, I may not vlog tomorrow unless anything happens, and then I may or may not vlog Friday, but Saturday is Christmas Eve. So on the note, until later, bye. What is up, my YouTubers? It's Jennifer, and it is Sunday, December 18th. I am about to be 3 weeks postpartum on Tuesday morning, like 4 something in the morning. So I'm making this video now because I'm trying to do weekly postpartum videos to give you guys an update to, I guess, show you that, what postpartum is like, because there is different phases of postpartum. You can go through depression, you can go through psychosis, you can have no symptoms at all, but being a new mom again, whether you have one kid or multiple kids, is hard, especially when you have babies in the NICU. So, minus the fact that I'm playing The Sims and I am cooking dinner, my normal thing. I know when I started these vlogs, I didn't really record much because I didn't really know how to go about filming the postpartum things. But I figured that it's kind of like my pregnancy vlogs. Well, I'll try to keep them unedited. Not really sure if I'll keep them unedited, because if there's like dead space, then I might cut that feed out. But so far, let's see. Highlights. I'm not sure what I talked about in my other one. So we'll go with day 1 of postpartum. Definitely my milk has come in. There has been a couple days where I was pumping every 2 hours, which was a pain in the butt, because normally I was pumping every 3 hours. I was pumping 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. Those were the 4 times. And you're supposed to pump at least 6 to 8 times in a 24-hour period. They want you to pump more 8 times or more in a 24-hour period, which was fine. 4 o'clock in the morning has always been the hardest for me to pump. Because that's always the time where I just want to skip it because I'm tired and I'm, whatever. But I have gotten into a habit. Now that it's about 3 weeks out, I have cut back to about 4 hours. I tried to cut back to 4 hours before, and the lactation consultant said, don't do that. Stay with 3 hours for at least another week. So it's been about another week. I could go back to 3 hours. It's just, I basically pump when at the least amount at 3 hours. I try to wait till at least 3 hours and then pump if my boobs really, really, really need to pump, or I go 4 hours. I try not to exceed 4 hours. However, there are times where I am in the car or I don't make it to the hospital in time to pump. So there have been a couple times where I've gone 5 or 6 hours. And that 6-hour mark was like, oh my God. That happened the other day when I decided, this was Friday. This was this past Friday. I was going to go see the babies, and traffic in town was just horrendous. So we had to drop Jim off at work. Then we had to go pick up my sister's kids from school. By the time I got to the hospital, it was about 6.5 hours in, and my shirt from one boob was like completely soaked through, because my dumb butt did not wear the booby pads. And I just have the disposable breast pads to prevent leakage through your bra. I don't have the reusable ones yet. However, I could cut, if I really wanted to, I could cut my reusable pads that I do have clean into sections and then put them in my bra, but I think I'll keep them as whole just because, you know. Pads, speaking of pads, now, I do have actual, like, feminine pads, for, like, periods and stuff. I'm not bleeding anymore. Like, I've spot, but I'm not really bleeding anymore. I've actually started spotting right afterwards. I mean, there was a few days, but since it wasn't a vaginal birth, I'm not bleeding as much. Spotting will continue until about 6 to 8 weeks after I have the babies. My C-section tape has completely fallen off, which is good because they want you to have that C-section tape off so this incision can have air and heal faster. I, for some reason, did not know that. I thought I had to stay on there for the entire 6 weeks until your postpartum care routine checkup. And we had this lady from the health department here in Pender County come and educate me on a little bit of things, just things that I knew of, but as a new mommy again, then it's kind of nice to have that refresher, in my opinion. Plus, it's a whole new county, and they do different things. They come out to do a home check, and they give some baby gifts, which was kind of nice. Like, they gave a couple thermometers, a grooming kit, like with nail clippers and stuff, a comb. I think they gave hand sanitizer, some baby lotion, you know, some baby gifts. Not all counties do that. So if you have in your state and in your county a health department, ask them if they do like a baby checkup care thing, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know how other countries do it. So I know I have a lot of viewers from not the states. So if you in your country, give me what your health your postpartum care does for mommies or daddies, because I know some countries do allow fathers. I think Canada is one of them. I'm not 100% sure, so if anybody's from Canada, please comment below and correct me on this. But I think Canada allows fathers to have maternity leave as well. I'm not 1,000% sure. But, and I don't feel like Googling that, but if anybody wants to Google postpartum care for fathers as well, please comment below. But yeah, so I'm not bleeding that much anymore, which is great. So far, my mental health is, I was going to say better. It's okay. It's, better than that's what I was going to say. It's better than being pregnant. I'm not as super hormonal anymore. I am sensitive to certain things. Like if Jim speaks, like if Jim's tired, I was trying to think of how to say this. It's not like he's an ass. It's not that. No. It's like, when he's tired, his voice has a certain tone to it, which anybody who's tired, obviously you're going to have a certain, like, tone to your voice, like that irritated tone to your voice when you're tired. And it's nothing against anything, but lately it's just been like, the certain little tiny things have been like making me cry. And I know that's like more of a sensitive thing. Like when my mom says certain things and then I take it personal, or Jim says certain things and I take it personal. And it's just, that's the hardest part about being postpartum, is I tend to take everything personal, which actually goes back to my mental health in general. Because before I got pregnant, my mental health was like, I would take things personally, and I wouldn't know how to like disassociate from, oh, they're just tired or they're just venting. It's not an attack on me personally. It's, you know, so that's what's hard about getting back into my mental state. And that's what I want to say, because there have been days where I have cried because if I don't make it out to the hospital to see the babies, I feel bad. I try to call them every day to get updates. And I think on Thursday and Friday, Thursday alone, I was so tired. It was just one of those days. I think because Wednesday I had pumped for 2 hours. I didn't pump for 2 hours. I was pumping every 2 hours, and that was really off for me. My boobs just needed, for some reason, to pump every 2 hours. They were getting so full so fast. I have no idea why. So that like wore me out for Thursday, and I slept. As soon as I pumped, I went back to sleep on Thursday until about my 7 o'clock pumping session, and then I was awake. And I did go back to sleep at 1 a.m., but like, it was horrible. I thought I was getting a cold. And Jim was concerned about me because I didn't want to eat. I didn't really want to drink anything. I just wanted to sleep, which happens. It happens. I know that, as long as I get out of bed and actually do stuff. I did eat dinner. And I did hydrate. It just, I didn't want to. But the postpartum with the mental health is very important because I am prone to postpartum depression. It can happen at any time. Like I said, I may not go through it. Every pregnancy is different. I've never gone through postpartum psychosis, which is different. I thought after my daughter, who's 10 now, I was going through postpartum psychosis, but when I looked it up and when people were explaining it to me, I was like, oh, no, I had depression, not the psychosis. The psychosis is like kind of like where you check out and your brain snaps and bad things happen. Not to say that bad things are happening in the depression phase. It's just like, it's psychosis. You become psychotic. We'll put it that way. I'm not going to go into the details. You guys can YouTube it or Google it yourself, postpartum psychosis. I'm not a doctor, and I don't feel like it's my place to explain it to you guys. So there. But I have suffered from postpartum depression, so I can give you at least my experience from that. But moving forward, eating and drinking. So eating and drinking has been, I do stay hydrated. I pretty good at staying hydrated. I always have my big thing of water. I think I said this before. My big thing of water here that I just actually filled up. And then I have juice. I have milk. I eat cereal like every morning, or whenever I get up, I usually eat cereal. I'm obsessed with cereal for some reason. I also eat oatmeal. I did buy some lactation tea, mother's milk, and I drank it only once. I drank it for not 2 days in a row, but I drank it 2 days. It has a licorice root in it. I don't care for licorice root, because it tastes like black licorice, and I don't like black licorice. It's a hard word to say. However, when I was drinking the tea, if I put honey in it, it wasn't bad. So I was like, this is weird. Maybe I like black licorice. And I mean, I'm sure that the black licorice root is different than the candy black licorice. And I'm not about to go and buy black licorice to try it and waste my money on it if I don't like it. I'll just continue drinking the tea. But the reason why I bought the tea is because I was getting paranoid, and this is where the crying about missing the hospital days comes in. I was getting upset because I thought, well, I have to keep up my breast milk. I have to keep pumping to supply for my babies and get it to the hospital. Well, on Thursday and Friday, I was so tired on Thursday that I didn't call the hospital to check up on the babies, even though we just saw them on Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe it was Wednesday and Thursday that I didn't call. I think it was Wednesday and Thursday I didn't call. Either way, I didn't call them for 2 days in a row. And I just started crying because I felt like a bad mother, because I was like, oh my God, I'm not checking up on my kids. The nurses are going to think what happened. I don't know. I just like all this mommy guilt went in my head, like, well, oh my God, what if I'm not? And now I'm going to start crying because just thinking about it. I was like, well, the nurses are going to sit there and think that, oh, I don't care about my kids, or what if I don't care about my kids because I don't want to check up on them, or this or that. It was horrible. And nobody is going to judge you if you do not call to check up on your babies. And it takes a really long time for me to realize that nobody is going to judge you. People are busy. People have lives. They all know that I need to rest. And they just probably think that I'm just resting or I'm busy and doing other things, and the day got away from me. I can call at 3 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, they're going to think all this stuff. And it's like the babies are 2 weeks old. They're not going to remember me not calling to check up on them. It was just a lot of mommy guilt. And that's where the mental health comes in, because I started, and I don't know if that's why I slept all day Thursday, because I just had this overwhelming sense of guilt. Like, I need to call them. On top of that, then my other kids. So, like, with Ben and Airly, there's a video that we did, or that I posted, or I'm about to post. I don't know if I'm going to post that before or after this video. We had an interview with the news crew here in town, this local news group. And it was mostly about talking about the deaths of my daughters. And my son got really upset because the article read it as if I only had 2 kids and I didn't have 2 other kids. And he got really, really upset. And I understand where my son could completely get upset with the way the article was written. I'm not going to go into the details about how he was upset, but I had to explain to him that it wasn't about this or that and everything else. I mean, he's 13. And I love my kids. I wish I could see them more often. I wish I had the money to travel to go see them often. I wish I could have the money to have them come here. I mean, I try to talk to my kids as much as I can. I know that they're 13 and 10, so they have their own lives. And with being pregnant with pregnancy brain and then trying to catch up on sleep after the babies, these past few weeks have been so chaotic. Because the car is still a nightmare. I'm not going to get into the car issue in this video. That is for December's mental health video. But it's just been chaotic. And then I had the mommy guilt about my other kids. Because that's where I also start crying, because I feel bad that if I don't message them or call them like every single weekend or every other day or whatever, then they're going to think I don't love them. And it's not true. And it's like, it's hard as a parent when you don't have custody of your kids it's not hard to like message them or anything. It's just hard to find that balance. And I don't know if any of my kids are ever going to see this postpartum video, but that hurts too. So it's a lot of emotions in this postpartum. These are going to be, hopefully, our last kids. I say hopefully because all the nurses and the doctors want to know what birth control I'm going to go on after the babies. Because you're not supposed to do anything intimate-wise until the doctor gives you the okay. Birth control-wise, personally, I've always been on the depot shot. I loved the depot shot. But now at my age, I don't think they will give it to me. And even if they do give it to me, it might only be for a year. Because it can cause osteoporosis as you get older if you continue taking it. I've been on the depot shot off and on since I was 18. I've tried birth control pills 2 different times of 2 different types of birth control pills, and each of those pills did not work. Not like for prevent pregnancy. They made my hormones, like, they did not agree with my hormones or whatever else. It is just, they weren't good. So birth control wise, I'm still fluctuating. I'd like to go on the birth control patch. Again, you guys can Google all this because I am not a doctor and I'm not about to go into the details of it, but that's what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to go on the patch. But it's like, I know at my age, if for any reason I go on birth control and we happen to get pregnant again, fine. It's not like we're going to, like, we'll be shocked, but yes, I will be going on birth control. I would say I would do the natural planning thing where you track your cycle and then just the week that you're ovulating, you skip doing anything and then you can go back like normally. But I don't trust that method only because my cycle has been so like this since I've ever had my period, like at 11 and a half, 12. And this last time before we got pregnant with the triplets, I didn't think I could get pregnant because my cycle was like, it was coming every month, but it was like still like between 26 and 29 days. And it was hard to track it, if that makes sense. So obviously we did get pregnant, but we were trying to get pregnant. So now we're trying to not get pregnant. And I don't want to all of a sudden, like, a whoopsie happen and then we end up with another set of triplets or twins or something afterwards. I don't know. But this is getting into a 20-minute mark. I'm not going to make this video super, super long because I still want to record the rest of the week, little blurbs. But that's about it for so far. Cooking or the house, I think I have had more energy or more motivation to do cooking and cleaning during pregnancy than I do now. And looking back at my pregnancy vlogs, I was like, probably because I was nesting and I didn't realize I was nesting. And now that the triplets are still in the NICU, it's not the fact that I don't have the, I have the energy to do stuff. I just don't have the motivation. Does that make sense? I'm just like, I don't care if the house is a mess. I don't care if I let the dog hair accumulate on the floor to sweep up later. I mean, I still clean the litter box every day because I actually clean it twice a day now that it's getting colder outside, morning and evening. But it's like, I don't care to cook. I don't care to clean. I don't really want to do anything but sit down, pump, watch Netflix or YouTube, and hydrate. or try to figure out when I'm going to the hospital. On that note, before I let you guys go, I'm going to say one more thing. I know I keep saying all this stuff, but I'm trying to get all of my thoughts out in this part of the vlog now before we go on to the rest of the week, because I probably already repeated some of the stuff that I've already said, or I might repeat it later on, but I wanted to get all this out now while I have it on my mind, while I'm awake, while I'm functioning, while my ADHD is actually on a focus today, is the pumping. I try so hard. This is also going back to mommy guilt. I try, okay, today is Sunday. I won't be seeing the babies today or tomorrow. So, and we will be going to see them on Tuesday because Jim has off on Tuesday. So what I try to do is the days that I know I'm not going to see the babies, like the next day, I try to pump and freeze all that breast milk in our freezer, which we're running out of room because our freezer's small. I just have to go in there and take some things out that we really don't need frozen. Because we have ice things in there that we really don't need in there. But the days okay, so today I'm pumping everything I'm pumping today. I'm putting in the freezer. I might have to start putting some in the fridge. But then tomorrow, everything that I pump tomorrow is going to the hospital for Tuesday. So if that makes sense. So today it's frozen. Tomorrow is Then I'll be at the hospital on Tuesday, so they'll get that. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'll probably, Wednesday and Thursday, I'll freeze that. And then Friday, I will give it to the hospital because we'll be there. I'll be there all day Christmas Eve, and then Jim has to work Christmas Eve, so he'll join us Christmas Eve night. And then Christmas Day, we're going to stay there for I don't know how many hours, so I'll have that milk at the hospital built up, and then repeat. So that's what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to have a stockpile at home for when they do come home. And I know I can take some of that frozen milk out of our freezer and give it to the hospital. But I know there's a 24-hour window to, once they defrost the frozen milk, they have a 24-hour window to use it. But luckily, even if I take my frozen milk to the hospital, I have 3 babies to where it will be used within 24 hours. I will give a different video on the babies update. I'm trying to keep my postpartum videos about me, and then I'll do a baby video strictly about them. I don't know how that's going to work in the future, if I might merge them, and I might have to switch my uploading days back to Tuesdays and Thursdays just because I don't have very many videos left to upload, if that makes sense. I'm still working on it, but this is just day 1, part 2 of the postpartum videos of full week 1, if that makes any sense. Anyways, on that note, until later on this week.